Michael is tearing it up as usual, but there seems to be a quieter approach this year. I get the feeling that Michael, in his attempt to be perfect, is trying to do it with less flair, but he's still getting it done, and the numbers are the same as they have been in the last couple of years as he goes this year thinking in those terms today. But Ewing and Jordan, respectfully, will be thinking about their team's efforts. That's always the response they give.
And number 23, Michael Jordan. At the forwards, number 33, Scottie Pippen. And number 54, Horace Grant. At center, number 24, Bill Cartwright. The trainer is Mark Feil. The assistant coaches are John Bach, Jim Clemens, and Tex Winter. And the head coach of the Bulls, Phil Jackson. At the guards, number 13, co-captain Mark Jackson. And number 21, Gerald Wilkins. At the forwards, number 4, Johnny Newman. And number 34, Charles Oakley. At center, number 33, co-captain Patrick Ewing. The assistant trainer is Tim Walsh. The assistant coaches Ernie Grunfeld, Paul Silas.
Last year's team failed in the Eastern Conference Finals. So we're set to go. Bill Cartwright against Patrick Ewing. Michael Jordan side by side with Gerald Wilkins. And we'll do it again.
What the Knicks will be seeking today, Al, particularly in the first half, is better play. The kind of play that matches their second half style of late. They've been waiting to get dramatic a little bit too often. Now they want to put together two good halves.
Oakley pulls down the tip, and we are underway. The Bulls have lost 2 straight regular season games at Madison Square Garden. Both teams are so strong at home. Jackson flips it out for Wilkins, draws Jordan to him, misses the layup, and Scottie Pippen pulls it down.
Gerald was flying so fast he lost a touch on the layup.
Probably didn't expect to get that much open room.
Jordan on the miss. One of the few players in the NBA who does not shoot around before the game. Who can argue? He's a 50% plus shooter every year.
And evidently gives his all every day in practice. That's part of why he is who he is. Scottie Pippen emerging as a good frontline star for Chicago this year. Pippen averaging 16.9 points a game. All 5 Bull starters averaging double figures. Jordan dancing on Wilkins. Out for Cartwright.
What a setup.
That was Bill Cartwright.
He gave you 2 dribbles between the legs, a spin. Surprisingly, didn't shoot the ball, then gave it up. That could be the different Jordan this year, a move like that. He could have gotten the shot off, but he gave it up to Cartwright, who had better position.
Jordan averaging 6.5 assists a game as Paxson comes up with a loose ball. Bulls lead it 2-0. 1.5 minutes deep into the first quarter. Paxson for Pippen. Ewing rips it down. Jackson uses the Ewing pick. Finds Patrick outside. Looks for Gerald. Wilkins is 0 for 2. Here's Oakley. Knicks a little cold at the outset. Horace Grant laying into Patrick Ewing. It's 4-0 Chicago.
Another assist for Jordan. He's such a complete player, Jordan, that is. I think he loves those passes that lead to scores and lift his teammates more than the actual basket himself.
Johnny Newman driving on Pippen, goes left-handed. And the Knicks come up empty again.
Oh, that poor floor.
Oh, Jordan for 3. He has hinted that he will not take part in the slam dunk competition on All-Star Weekend, but will instead go for the long-distance shootout competition.
Horace Grant on a moving pick, which disappointed Paxson, who hit the long jump shot behind. Yes, Michael spoke a little quickly, and I think the NBA front office was not happy about that.
Michael, are you kidding? You're the star of that. Have you seen the ad for the video that the NBA has out now, Michael Jordan video, where he does a dance on Larry Bird and pulls up for a 15-foot jumper at Boston Garden? That is just unbelievable. Here's Gerald Wilkins. Goes reverse and drops it. The most difficult of the 3 shots he's taken so far, and that's the one that drops.
He had a clear layup. It's funny he did that.
Paxson. John Paxson averaging 10.7, hits 55% of his shots as the Bulls come up with a loose ball.
Oakley flings the ball off official Ronnie Nunn's foot, stays in bounds, and it's alive because the official is.
Cartwright, with his very unique jumper style, has 4. Fans getting a little restless. 8:43 to go. Knicks have but 2. Johnny Newman. Good start for Johnny, who led the Knicks with 19 points against the Spurs. Pippen gets around Newman and Ewing, but Ewing sends him away. 2-on-2. Jackson on Grant all the way.
Beautifully judged by Mark Jackson. The big man couldn't stay with him.
And quickly the Knicks within 2. Jordan yet to score with the basketball. Using the Cartwright pick. Michael Jordan misses another. Jordan's 0 for 3. Knicks with a chance to tie. Ewing on the alley-oop. Just long. Pippen double team for Paxson. Fakes Oakley. And Jordan's 0 for 4.
How about that? Mr. Perfect. Missing what would appear to be an easy one.
Newman driving on Pippen. And out comes Michael 1-on-2. Waits for his running mates.
He saw Patrick behind Mark Jackson. He wasn't worried about Mark. He was more concerned about Ewing.
Jordan with the tongue out. He is fouled.
Michael rewards the fans with a move like that as much as a basket. No one makes moves like this. Jordan at 6'6" tall. Woo!
And the scary thing is that you think it should go in.
Yes. Rod Strickland suggests Jordan on some of his moves. But of course, Michael at 3 inches taller than Rod has more of an impact visually when he goes into that high-flying act.
23 consecutive points by one player against an opposing team, a record that is now almost 3 years old. Jordan makes it 10-6. He leads the Bulls in minutes played, points scored, steals, free throw percentage, and assists.
Huh?
That's why he gets $1.3 billion a year. Paxson with the Knicks getting back, and Paxson with an unbelievable dribble move around Jackson, followed by Cartwright.
Oakley just stood there and it happened. Wow.
Good sign for the Knicks, the transition D. They all got back in a hurry, but Paxson with an amazing crossover dribble move. And the Bulls lead by half a dozen. 6:44 to go in the first.
Alert defensively on this play. Pippen going inside. Tries the left hand. Not good enough for Ewing. He slaps it away. And Mark Jackson just takes Horace Grant right underneath. Grant at 6'10", no problem for Mark Jackson. And John Paxson at the other end, splashing through for a layup attempt. He claims he was fouled, but the Bulls got the 2 anyway.
Interesting to note that Patrick Ewing and Michael Jordan have not scored from the floor. Jordan has 2 free throws. Ewing is scoreless so far. 7 on the 24. Knicks trail by 6. Wilkins on Jordan. Takes a difficult shot. They'll send it the other way. Did he step out of bounds? Or was it a foul?
Well, either that or the
stepped on the end line.
Fluffing off the backboard. But Michael Jordan is an outstanding defensive player. There's just not enough time to talk about him when you say his name. But defense is the other side of his game. And so, look at that move by him. Underrated by, I'd say, by spectators, not by people on the court who play against him.
Jordan 0 for 5, missing the wild double pump. 12-6, Chicago in front. Ewing. Oakley had good position, just fell back, allowing Cartwright to get the rebound. Paxson good feed Scottie Pippen, and he drops it. Foul by Ewing.
Bulls are showing some tempo here in the first half. They're running more than expected. John Paxson with a nice look off to Pippen. He takes a hard blow from Ewing and still succeeds. This is one of the big stories in this improved team this year. Scottie Pippen, third-year pro, has come on strong. Question was, is he a forward or a guard? And the Bulls played him at both positions for a while. This year, he's a forward and coming on strong in all phases.
The Bulls have scored 7 straight points on the Knicks. Johnny Newman lost the ball as he drove to the hoop. Out comes Chicago again. The lead is 9. Make it 11.
Without Jordan putting his stamp yet. Wow.
And Stu Jackson does not like what's happening. Knicks came to within 2 at 8-6, but the Bulls have taken it on a run. 5:32 to go in the first.
The last time down court, John Paxson, now the point guard for this team, just pumped it up. He's earned those shots with his fine play as a backcourt leader of this team. The last time Ewing got the ball, you'll see Cartwright makes him go to the hook shot. He couldn't get in closer. Good soft shot by Patrick, but you can't make them all.
The defense by Cartwright. 5:25 to go, 17-6. Bulls have scored 9 straight. Newman guarded tightly by Scottie Pippen. Jordan picks up Wilkins. Ewing again. This time it falls. 17-8.
Last year it was Jordan as the point guard. They discovered that they could be a more effective team with him bringing it up. This year, on the deflection now by the Knicks and the turnover by the Bulls, Knicks get another shot. John Paxson is the point guard most of the time. Very interesting. Last year he was a backup point guard, only started 20 games. This year he has started every single game of the Bulls' schedule this year. Now it's 36th game.
Mark Jackson looks outside for Ewing. Strange looking shot, but Ewing makes it work.
He's been spending time on that left hand.
Chicago again quickly up the floor. Not only do the 5 starters average double point figures for Chicago, but they also get balance in their rebounding. 4 players average at least 7 rebounds a game.
Oakley was driving Cartwright to the point of distraction. Ewing would not play.
And not surprisingly, low in the shooting department, 36%. And while this start is reminiscent of what happened Saturday at San Antonio, so is the play of Oakley against the opposing team's center. He down the stretch played David Robinson and played him really well as Patrick had 5 fouls in the 4th quarter on Saturday. Cartwright. Pippen on the follow.
And Oakley turns around as if to say with his motion, hey, I took care of my man. Who let Pippen in here? Of course, he didn't say that verbally, but
it's nice that you're able to look into
well, that's how a power forward would feel.
Gerald Wilkins hits the first Knick 3-pointer, so that ends Lorna Nurse's chances in the 3-point contest. 3:44 to go in the first. Horace Grant not heavily involved in the early going, missing there. Gerald Wilkins high for the bound. 19-13, Knicks back to within 6. Oakley wide open, great assist from Ewing.
19-15.
I didn't see who set the pick for Oakley on the left side, but it was a good one. Knicks to within 4. Jordan hits his first from outside. 21-15. A little pressure by Paxson in the backcourt on Jackson. And Oakley gets it out for Gerald Wilkins. Knicks seem to be concentrating a little bit more on getting it to Ewing, who's fouled on the drive.
See, the Knicks had isolated Ewing on the right side. No one was there to help Cartwright, and Patrick went left with the ball on the floor, and he has a little too much mobility for Big Bill.
Knicks on the inbound, trailing by 6, 21-15. Just under 3 minutes remain in the first quarter. Stacey King comes out on Oakley. Ewing battles to receive the pass. Picked up by Cartwright. Ewing with an unfriendly rim. Boys foul.
Cartwright furious. Oof. Bill Cartwright doesn't feel that he's ready to be written off as a factor. A lot of emotion around Patrick Ewing in his MVP quest, but Cartwright showed how anxious he is to do well by his reaction.
I think the trade would have to be said to have worked out for both teams. Oakley filled a need for the Knicks, and so did Cartwright. And one player who has not worked out that well checks into the game for Chicago, Will Perdue. But nothing to do with chickens. He's a 7-footer out of Vanderbilt in his second year, and he has not fulfilled the expectations that Chicago placed upon him when they drafted him number 11 in the NBA draft 2 seasons ago. Perdue guarded by Ewing. Jordan will let it fly. Knicks down by 4. Phil Jackson to the bench for 2 players. That's been a problem for Chicago this season. Not getting a tremendous effort from the players off the bench. Gerald Wilkins for Oakley over Stacey King.
Gerald just knew he could beat his man, and he waited it out.
Knicks down by 2. Michael Jordan 1 for 7 from the floor as the Knicks have outscored Chicago on a run of their own, 13-4. Stacey King. Get out of here, says Patrick Ewing for his 3rd block of the game.
Look at Oakley pursue Pippen.
Perdue, not bad.
That was Will Perdue. Close game, 23-19.
Ewing thirsting for the ball.
Gerald Wilkins for 3. Second three-pointer of the afternoon for Gerald. The Knicks within 1.
Boy, going on Pippen, and he missed by a lot.
And it was only Knicks over there, but it wound up surprising Jackson and Ewing out of bounds, both balls. Kenny Walker off the bench, replacing Johnny Newman.
This is where the Knicks have an edge. They have a more experienced bench, better players. And that's Phil Jackson's concern, to build his bench, build these rookies, B.J. Armstrong, who we'll see, and Stacey King, who's out there now.
Armstrong and King, the lowest 6th men in the NBA, coming off the bench at about 6 points or a little bit less.
Well, Will Perdue's hurting the Knicks, got inside Mark Jackson, which shouldn't be a problem for a big man. Tipped it in. Well, he's coming down to bang Ewing, who's trying to figure out how to deal with it.
Ewing for Oakley.
Chicago foul charge against Stacey King.
What a play. Double team on Ewing. He looks for Oakley, who gets banged by King and still has the presence to make the hoop. What a play. Ewing is reacting quickly now to the double teams. It's so funny to see Oakley make a basket, and I look over at the Bulls bench where they used to jump up and down whenever he did anything for them and see nothing but impassive faces.
And he's so thrilled he got a black and blue mark in the process, too. Second memorable assist from Patrick Ewing in the game. And we are tied for the first time at 25. The Knicks able to hang tough and survive a stretch in which they were shooting 36%. They're falling a lot better now. Jordan behind the back. Oh, my whooping in. And followed by Stacey King. How quickly he executed that behind the back dribble.
As he was going forward.
Still only 4 points. Gerald Wilkins looked for his own magic. 6 on the 24.
It's trying a new theory, dribble through people.
Ouch. 18.7 seconds to go. The Bulls have scored 4 points to go up 29-25. Knicks will hold for 1. Ewing comes out to set the pick for Wilkins. They work the give and go. Here's Ewing on the big drive. Will it count? It will count.
That was a goaltending violation credited to Patrick Ewing. The Bulls foul is charged against Will Perdue.
Ewing, one of the few big men who can get the ball far out and go places successfully. You see at the end of the move, it's deflected away by King for the goaltend.
Patrick's contact lens seemed to come out of position after the drive, and Charles Oakley came and put it in position for him. Great steal by Oakley. 1 second to go. Jackson.
That's the end of the first quarter with the score of the goal.
So a first quarter is complete here at Madison Square Garden. Michael Jordan, many came to see him be dazzling. He has been left shooting 1 for 8.
Where he wants to go, Michael finds a way out, going behind his back. Stacey King inside over Kenny Walker. Find out in the next couple of quarters. Michael finding Pippen in a free moment, and Pippen hanging around Michael has picked up on the slam dunking. Tell you, if Michael doesn't want to show up in Miami for the All-Star weekend, it's 4 of the Knicks' 9.
Trent Tucker in for the Knicks, as is Rod Strickland, the hero of the fourth quarter comeback against San Antonio Saturday. Stacey King on the drive, rejected by Ewing, his 4th block of the game. Strickland, bounce past Tucker, out of bounds as he received it.
I like Strickland's remarks after the great game he had the other day against San Antonio. He said, the way I played in the first half, I was hoping I'd get put in the second half.
And he was honest. He said, I didn't deserve to play in the second half.
He really rewarded Stu Jackson's faith in him.
2 of the Chicago Bulls' first-round draft picks from the '89 draft are in there now. Stacey King and B.J. Armstrong out of Iowa. The 3rd first-round pick that this team had, Jeff Sanders, on the bench.
Poor Trent all alone with Michael.
Jordan still cold.
Ewing's really hopping on the boards today.
Strickland pushing it up the floor on Ewing. Way outside for Oakley. Walker for a pass. He screams out. Loved it.
Well, we just showed how the Knicks are soft on the offensive board so far. Kenny Walker did something about it himself right now.
Nice pass from Oakley, huh, John?
Oh, man. Yes, right. All right, Kenny, how do you feel about this?
And Walker, who has the Garden bussing. A lane violation against Chicago. Kenny Walker will do it again. Will Perdue was in too soon.
The free throw will be reshot. Number 45,
and Patrick Ewing will take a breather as Eddie Lee Wilkins comes in. Bill Cartwright is on the bench with 2 personal fouls. Just underway in the second quarter. Knicks by 1. Make it 2. Okay from the free throw line so far, 4 for 4. They've only been shooting 66% from the line over the last 9 games. B.J. Armstrong inside for Jordan. That won't go, but he is fouled.
Really interesting watching the Bulls' strategy with the use of Jordan. Last year you saw him dribbling it up all the time. He was constantly in your vision during a game because of the fact that he was the point guard. Now he's just one of the guys.
Missing on the free throw. Jordan, who leads the team at 89% from the free throw line. Horace Grant back in. John, what are the odds of someone having that much talent and being able to carry off the marketing image that's been created for him with the personality and the facial expressions and the talent and the durability and the clear way of speaking and expressing himself? It's just extraordinary.
He has got it all. Being reflected in every poll there is about the popularity of personalities, not just basketball players and sports people. Jordan's at the top of most of them.
Trent Tucker pulls up on the run. That's a shot he's been hitting lately. Ewing out blocking Chicago with a solo effort of 4. Jordan inside for King. Met nicely by Walker, but pulled it out to the left hand.
King, a first-team All-American last year for Oklahoma, showing his stuff now. Rod Strickland with a beautiful drive. That is an unconventional move, how he dribbles down on the left side, has a floating jump shot as he goes to the hoop.
Pippen looking for King. Stacey King will know that Kenny Walker is guarding him. Trent Tucker couldn't keep it in bounds.
40 up to a 33, Patrick Ewing.
Trent Tucker being introduced to Johnny Kerr, the former NBA star from Chicago on that sequence. Tony does the color for the broadcast for the Bulls. Here goes Trent, overplaying Michael successfully.
You know, John, Al Bianchi was telling me an interesting story that I had completely forgotten, that in '67 in the expansion draft when Chicago started up in this league, Johnny Kerr was drafted from Baltimore and Al Bianchi from Philadelphia, and they were drafted to be the coaching staff of the Chicago Bulls.
Yes, we're talking about a depth of involvement in the sport with those two fellas.
And that's where they met Jerry Colangelo, who eventually got involved with Johnny, and Al Bianchi, of course, went to Phoenix eventually. But the coaching staff was drafted in the expansion draft. Cartwright on Ewing as both starting centers are in there. Bill Cartwright is 4 for 5 from the floor with 8 points.
Well, that was a magnificent move by Cartwright. Strong.
Ewing battling Cartwright again on the double pump.
Oh, Jordan came over to try and get a piece of Patrick, who surprised everyone.
Ewing has come to life with 11. And a foul against the Knicks. Eddie Lee Wilkins has 2 quick fouls.
Charge to Eddie Lee Wilkins. That's his second and the team's second.
How about this move by Ewing? See, Jordan has his eye out now. He wants to keep his eye to help out Cartwright. Patrick spinning around the pressure. Good move by him to get the ball. Jordan comes over. No good, Michael. Patrick surprises all with that inside move.
Horace Grant at the line for Chicago. Looks like Chicago has inherited some of the Knicks' free throw problems. Grant, the team's leading rebounder, has scored in double figures in 5 straight. So far in this one, has 2 points. Another first-round pick back in the '87 draft. Grant makes it 37-35 Knicks.
Foul charged against Michael Jordan.
And Jordan is called for the foul in the backcourt. His first.
For anyone worried about Michael Jordan fouling out, he hasn't fouled out of one this year.
Ewing posting up on Cartwright again. He really wants Bill in a big way. Oh, and Walker! His head above the rim. 39-35. Ewing, who had hit 4 straight shots, giving Kenny Walker a chance to electrify the crowd again. Jordan shooting low-line drives that are just not working. Strickland stopped for Walker. And they'll call an offensive foul on Strickland.
Carter showing that tendency to go in the air and then decide who his target will be. That's low percentage basketball by him.
Michael Jordan now 1 for 10. B.J. Armstrong for Scottie Pippen. Pippen gets around Ewing. Walker is quick to recover. Now Grant gets away from Tucker. Here's Jordan. Patrick Ewing with his 5th block. 4-on-1 Knicks. Tucker. And Strickland is grimacing. Tucker, who injured his left thumb in Indiana on Friday.
Defense is what's exciting the fans here. Jordan starting to take over. Gets around everybody but Ewing. Patrick sends that one away. Another angle look at it now. Get out of here, Michael.
Patrick in search of his season-high 8 blocks back in November against the Clippers. And Patrick is doing it from everywhere. Now with 13 points. Started out 0 for 2, and now he's 5 for 8. The Knicks have assumed control for now, leading by 6 with 7.5 to go in half number 1.
Ewing moves when he gets the ball. The more difficult it is for the defense to help out Cartwright. And isn't it nice when you miss one occasionally, as Ewing does, to have Kenny Walker come in and do what he did? Patrick going to the double pumps. Another look at Kenny Walker way up. Oh, young players dream about being in the air where Walker gets.
Patrick Ewing aggressively winning the battle with Cartwright, 13 points to 8 and 5 block shots. 3 short of his career high of 8 blocks in a game, which he has recorded 5 times. B.J. Armstrong guarded by Strickland. Armstrong snaps the net to make it 41-37 Knicks.
First appearance as a pro here at the Garden. Armstrong looking like an old veteran. Ooh.
Tucker with 4 on the 24. Yes! For 3.
Boy, the Knicks are looking sharp after that slow start.
That is the 400th three-pointer of Trent Tucker's career. He becomes the 8th player in the NBA to record that total. Dale Ellis earlier this season became the first player to reach the 500 mark, and you saw that right here on MSG.
Illegal defense charged against the Knicks. That's their second violation.
Second illegal defense violation called against the Knicks, so a free throw will be awarded to Michael Jordan and the Bulls.
Knicks working hard on defense. That's what they felt helped them decide that game in Indiana and against San Antonio. Their defensive intensity, and they're coming out here in the first half and starting the game really with that kind of effort.
And the Knicks tend to feel within reason that the illegal defense call is a good signal of their hustling defense and not necessarily a bad thing. Strickland on Paxson spinning and losing as it was smacked away. Knicks will retain with a 6-point lead and 6 minutes and 18 seconds to go in the half. Walker for Strickland, out for Tucker. Picked up by Craig Hodges. Into the game by Phil Jackson. Tucker drops it. The Knicks may be trying to take advantage of what has been a bad ankle from Hodges.
You hate to see a player hold the ball as long as Tucker did. When you see him execute it so perfectly, like he knew exactly what was going to happen, you have to say that was beautiful.
Scottie Pippen with another tip-in offensive rebound bucket. The Knicks starting out shooting 3 of 12. Since then, they have hit 16 of their last 20. Strickland, 17 of 21. Just to finish the thought on Hodges, we spoke about Reggie Miller and his 44-point effort when we were in Indiana Friday night. It was Hodges who was guarding Miller in that game, and Miller scored 13 points in 7 minutes on Hodges, who's still complaining of an ankle injury that goes back to December.
Well, I talked to him before the game, Hodges that is. He said he felt fine. But that might just be a front, huh?
After that game, he said he was still fine, too, but it was the feeling of Phil Jackson that Hodges just did not look right. Hodges now guarding Mark Jackson back in. Cartwright on Ewing. Horace Grant on Oakley.
Yeah, Ewing responds to the pressure. He just spins around, and oh, man. Now he's a power forward as well, the way he's shooting that basketball, facing the hoop.
The Knicks' fingertips are sizzling. They're 18 of 22 as Cartwright is hammered by Oakley.
Knicks foul charged to Charles Oakley.
Now that play by Oakley is the kind of play that the Knicks never had till he arrived. Ewing spinning around the pressure. Boy, and it gets him free. See the advantage of that reaction to someone leaning on you, and then because he's really on target today.
1 point this game was 17-6 Bulls. Since that time, the Knicks have outscored Chicago by 20. Knicks 50, Bulls 41 as Bill Cartwright slides in his 9th point.
Bulls going to the pressure now. Something they saw a lot of with the Knicks last year. Something they dealt with quite successfully.
Got a lot of speed. Jackson on the pass from Tucker. Mismatch. And Ewing on the give and go, which worked nicely, is fouled on the drive. Good look by Mark Jackson, who noticed the mismatch immediately.
You know, it's something to say Ewing is playing hard because he always plays hard. And it seems these days all the games are big games. David Robinson one night, Robert Parrish one night, now Cartwright. I don't know, he just seems to be sharper today than yesterday. Maybe that's the kind of player he is now, where every day he looks a little sharper, or every third game he looks sharper than he did the prior two. It's really some tribute to him, though, because going to his left hand now a lot today successfully. He's already blocked a pile of shots. Always coming up with something.
You saw how the Knicks have raised their shooting percentage, which at one point was way down. Scottie Pippen with a double clutch. And Ewing right in front of him. Nails it. Knicks by 8.
Great moves by Pippen. Showed no fear of Ewing, just respect.
Mark Jackson.
Oh, no shot blocking. That's one thing Bill Cartwright does not excel in, and there was the advertisement for it as Jackson went in with no problem.
Paxson for 3.
3-point goal. 3 points for John Paxson.
John Paxson in his 7th year in the NBA out of Notre Dame. Making it 54-47. Jackson posting up low, drops for Oakley, and Ewing follows.
Just took it right off the rim. Wow.
56-47.
What a pass by Mark Jackson. Hodges on the reverse.
That was Craig Hodges.
Interesting how Phil Jackson is letting Jordan sit quite a while. Looks like he's going to let him go the whole half. Looks like I'm wrong.
He's coming back in, John. As you say it. Johnny Newman. Won't fall for him, and Horace Grant is there for the rebound. Out for Paxson. 2:50 to go in the half. Knicks by 7. Grant. And Ewing, with a little luck, pulls it down. Patrick Ewing with 8 rebounds, 5 blocked shots, and 19 points. The Bulls get a break.
Scottie Pippen showing those quick hands. He's number 5 in the NBA in steals, even ahead of Jordan, who's also in the top 10.
Knicks gamble on defense there with Mark Jackson stepping out to guard Bill Cartwright, and it was not illegal. Illegal defense called to the Knicks, so the Bulls will get a technical free throw, which will be taken by Craig Hodges, and a timeout has been called.
And the technical will be shot by John Paxson.
John MSG begins at 8 o'clock. The Knicks and the San Antonio Spurs. Remember the Alamo, John?
Greatest. Always nice to get down there when it's cold, too. Scottie Pippen inside, fakes twice, then gets Patrick Ewing to commit, and he goes to the jam. Pippen, the second leading scorer on this team, averaging half the amount of points as the leading scorer. Mark Jackson down low. Good look off to Oakley, who sets up Patrick Ewing for a dramatic follow-up over Cartwright.
A lot of players may have assumed that Oakley would have made that shot and backed off on the rebound, but Patrick was right there on a shot that Oakley makes about 90% of the time.
Patrick Ewing is not thinking about conserving energy today.
Michael Jordan, 1 of 11 from the floor, 6 points. Cartwright working on Ewing.
Oh, what a beautiful move. Ewing played him well, too.
2:05 to go in the first half. The Knicks lead is down to 5. It was 10.
2 minutes.
You know, Ewing is playing a great first half. Cartwright's not far behind him. He's doing his best, and he's playing well.
Gerald Wilkins back in, guarded by Hodges. Jackson for 3. Mark Jackson 5 for 11 in the last 4 games with his 3-pointers. The Knicks are 4 for 5 from out there. almost threw it away. And Michael Jordan comes alive, perhaps.
A shooting slump will never deter Jordan. He epitomizes the word confidence.
Patrick Ewing will take it and nail it.
Oh, man. I mean, Phil Jackson could have reached out and touched Ewing. That's how far out Ewing was.
And Michael Jordan comes back and answers 2 in a row quickly for Jordan. And he's up to 10. Patrick Ewing with 21. 50 seconds to go in the half. 10 on the 24. Newman. Guarded by Jordan. A rainbow.
Oh, boy. Jordan played Newman so well. What a retreat defensively he showed Newman. Newman answers with a spectacular response.
Jordan double teamed and fouled. What if Purvis Short is sitting at home watching with envy at another player in the league shooting up a rainbow that he's so famous for.
Watch Jordan retreat now.
2 shots.
That's super in itself. And what a shot by Newman.
Jordan makes it 63-56. Scottie Pippen back into the game.
1, 2, press out.
Kenny Albert makes an amazing point. Patrick Ewing didn't score for the first 6 minutes and 48 seconds of this game, meaning he has 21 points in 16 and a half minutes. Knicks will keep it. 25 seconds to go, 21 on the 24.
Well, the Knicks have come out and answered their hopes with a solid first half, both ends of the court.
Didn't look like they were going to start out that way. To recap, the Knicks were trailing 17-6. Now 10 on the 24, 13 in the half. Newman guarded by Pippen. A wild fall away that somehow goes in.
Those are the messages that Phil Jackson is getting, and they're not good ones.
Jordan, 5 seconds to go. And stolen by Newman. 1 second. And just short. Well, the Knicks game ready for Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan perhaps not ready in that first half, but he is far from finished with 1 half of basketball to go here at the Garden. The Knicks 65, the Bulls 57. Michael Jordan with 12 block shots, 5 for 5 from the line, 21 points. And when we come back, we'll look back to last year's playoff series. 65-57, Knicks in front.
Flashback to the Eastern Conference semis. Game 1 was a major disappointment for the Knicks. The score was tied with 6 seconds remaining, but Mark Jackson missed a three-pointer, and the game went into overtime. Michael Jordan took control in OT. He scored 9 in the extra session, and the Bulls stole the home court advantage. In Game 2, the Knicks held Jordan to just 15 points. The Knicks won by 17. Series tied 1 game apiece. Games 3 and 4 in Chicago, Jordan was awesome. 40 points in Game 3, 47 points in Game 4. Michael Jordan seemed to score from every conceivable angle. And Sir Michael even lit the fire under Mr. Bill, Billy Cartwright, who outplayed Ewing in game number 4. The Bulls took a commanding 3-1 lead in the best-of-7 game series. The Knicks were looking for an answer as the scene shifted back to MSG for Game 5. Patrick Ewing proved in this contest that he too could dominate a ball game. Ewing was monstrous. He scored 32 points, came up with 11 rebounds as New York sent the series back to Chicago. Game 6 was a classic. Jordan at the foul line late in the 4th. Chicago goes up by 4. 9 seconds left. New York looking for a prayer. One last chance to stay alive. Marv Albert has the memorable call.
Knicks again will look for the quick shot and a quick foul. Tucker from 3. Yes! And the foul! Unbelievable! Frank Hodges committing a foul on a three-point play. Doug Collins can't believe it. to the line, looking to tie the game.
Tucker indeed tied the game, but 6 seconds is an eternity to Michael Jordan. He drew the foul and made both free throws. Bulls won 13, Knicks won 11. One more chance for New York, though. One more opportunity to force a 7th game at MSG. Tensions high on both sides, but Johnny Newman's three is off the mark, and Doug Collins and the Chicago Bulls celebrate a series victory, while Coach Rick Pitino of the Knicks mirrored the club's disappointment. 1 year ago in the NBA, they begin to work it around on this play.
Yeah, Ewing shaking, baking, making along the, whoa, that's Walker coming in from the side with a vicious stuff shot. He had a couple of those in the game. All right, not contesting him on the perimeter. This is Ewing moving, and when he's on the move, that's when he has an advantage over the slower Cartwright. So Ewing in his domain on the left side, shaking, baking, nice head fake. Oh, he added some stuff in the game, Bruce. A tricky shoot, rejecting Jordan of all people. Watch the finger roll. Ewing said, get it out of here, and the Knicks started on the transition game.
In this game, just great.
Second half underway. The Knicks' biggest lead was 10. The Bulls' biggest lead was 11. There were two major streaks in the first half. The Knicks streak was the one that put them in front, and right now it is 65-57, an 8-point New York Knicks lead. 5 on the 24 as Horace Grant.
What a pass from Cartwright. Bounce pass, perfectly executed. No one spent more time in the game in the first half than Ewing. 23 minutes, and he only has 1 foul.
Ewing gets the shot from Mark Jackson that he really wanted to take over Paxson. And we'll have a jump ball as Patrick was stopped as he attempted to follow the errant Jackson shot. Knicks on the tip. Gerald Wilkins is there. Both teams sending out their original starting fives. Ewing on the run again. Up comes Paxson. 1 minute deep into the second half. Grant, good defensive play by Newman from behind.
So hard to do that successfully. When you get behind a player who's underneath, you're dead usually.
This huge Martin Luther King Day crowd late settling in their seats as Gerald Wilkins rivets their attention. 67-59.
Gerald shooting the ball well. Played 14 minutes in the first half. 3 out of 6. 3 assists for him also. Knicks had 4 players with 3 assists in the first half.
Paxson for Cartwright. Bill Cartwright with 14 points. Played well. Wilkins, 2 in a row. He could use a hot day. 3 for 13 on Saturday versus San Antonio. And, of course, earlier in the week, that 0 for 13 and 0 for 16 stretch for Gerald.
Very difficult day for him because he has to deal with the guys on right now. Jordan.
I told you before the game, didn't he, John, that he thought one of the better ways to defense Jordan was to hit some shots of his own.
That's right. He knows that. And he's doing it.
Scottie Pippen inside for another offensive rebound. Hoop.
Boy, you want to become unpopular with big men. Let the guards and these people in there who normally don't rebound like that do it to you. Pippen, successful tipping, drew some glances from Ewing.
Oakley, fouled by Horace Grant.
Now, Horace Grant's development is the reason, one of the reasons, certainly a main reason why the Bulls elected to trade Oakley for Cartwright. Those two are matched on that play. Grant does not have the body, very few do, of Oakley, but he is rapidly developing.
Grant's had a quiet game so far. The team's leading rebounder only has 2 and 5 points as Oakley misses the first Knick free throw of the second half. Knicks are 7 for 8. Michael Jordan yet to take a shot in the second half. for the Bulls with 14. Here's Jordan guarded for now by Newman. Awful looking shot by Jordan.
Boy, his Oakland go after rebound. Just scoop that up.
Wilkins in for Ewing. Followed by Newman. He had a powerful thought.
Wow.
Finish it.
Michael Jordan's presence makes everybody jump a little higher, it appears.
Pippen using the Horace Grant pick, and Newman and Grant go at it.
Newman would not let Grant get free for the pick and roll, for the roll portion of the pick and roll. He wrapped him up.
Got the pick, but he didn't get the roll.
Right. The other end, Ewing with a jump hook from an odd position, and Johnny Newman almost did the unbelievable.
Paxson hard off the rim. Oakley comes up with the look what I've got rebound. Jackson.
Nicely done by Paxson.
Paxson with 3 steals in the game as Grant follows and is fouled by Oakley.
Knicks foul charge against Charles Oakley.
Looked like Paxson was a lonely soul. So that left hand went up in the air, and he made the Knicks sad on this play. Michael Jordan giving it up unselfishly. And Grant on his way to a 3-point play. What a turnaround.
It falls for Horace Grant. 8:15 to go in the third. Knicks lead is down to 4. Newman. Good looking move.
Yeah, he got around one of the NBA's best defensive players, and Mr. Jordan.
Jordan wide open.
That was Michael Jordan.
You have to wonder with all the focus on Michael how he ever gets wide open. Jackson back past Wilkins. Loose ball foul called against Ewing. That'll be Patrick's second foul of the game.
That's his second and the team's
One
third.
of those accidental fouls that just because you're there, it seems it happens. Ewing, fortunately, is not in foul trouble.
And you have to really wonder the level of disappointment in the crowd who all came here to see Michael Jordan put on a show, and they're seeing what may be his worst output shot-wise of the season so far.
Well, he can reward them, though, as Cartwright is stopped and results in a turnover. He can reward people, though, with 2 moves and a half that makes it worth the ticket. As long as their home team wins, why the fans are going to go away happy. Michael gave some flashes of it in the first half. The ball doesn't have to go in for him to make people happy.
Knicks get the ball into Ewing again. That's been the focus, and successfully so, of their offense. Gerald Wilkins definitely with his shooting arm cocked here in the second half. And the Knicks will get
Dolph Schayes, Willie Randolph.
John, there's a rumor that Deborah Norville wants to be the color commentator on Knicks telecast.
I think she's rather busy now, Alex. Dolph Schayes, the NBA's 15th all-time leading scorer, sitting on Celebrity Row.
His third and the team's second.
Patrick Ewing will go to the line.
Patrick Ewing at the line. 2 shots.
There he is. Dolph Schayes getting a second look here.
He can make you laugh just by looking out at the game, huh?
I was thrilled by watching Dolph Schayes play, as so many New Yorkers were.
And we're not done.
My goodness. The many faces of the Garden. Old Shylock is with us today. Dustin Hoffman.
Michael Jordan out for Pippen, who takes a 3. And Ewing pulls down the missed shot. Jackson spinning and on the floor, looks for help, gets it out to Gerald Wilkins. Oakley comes in on Cartwright.
Rumbling in.
He knows no other way. 76-68, Knicks by 8 with 6 minutes to go. Grant spinning inside, triple team, out for Cartwright open.
Well, Jackson could not scare Bill. Been running at him, yelled at him.
Tremendous outside shooting by both centers in this game so far. Gerald Wilkins continues to fire him up.
Charles Oakley continues to hit the board successfully.
Knicks by 8. Biggest lead was 10.
Oakley talking to Newman, telling him he's behind him with Jordan in mind.
Cartwright spinning. Off the mark. Out comes Gerald with the rebound. 3-on-2 Knick break. Newman is fouled on the drive. And Stacey King will come in for Chicago. Horace Grant will sit. And a timeout on the floor.
Johnny Newman fighting over the weak pick set by Grant. And Oakley picks him up right away. Attentiveness to everything by Oakley.
Knicks by 8. Michael Jordan still showing us that he might not like afternoon games. He's only taken 2 shots in the second half, has made 1 as Johnny Newman steps to the line. I was reading, John, where general manager of the Bulls, Jerry Krause, said that we're building the same way as Detroit built, with young kids. And he cites John Sally and Rodman of Detroit, who filled into their roles over the course of the past 3 years, and he'd like to see the same type of thing happen here in Chicago. What do you think? Is it working out for them, or can it work?
I think definitely it's working out. As Jordan, spectacular move, misses the shot, but Bill Cartwright continues his fine play. Yes, he's got a player in Pippen who's filling that answer right away, and I liked what I saw of Stacey King in the first half. And they think they got the best point guard out of the last draft in B.J. Armstrong. So it's happening.
5 on the 24 as Oakley goes to the hook shot. They did it against San Antonio.
Right, Robinson got a piece of that, or a taste of that, rather. And that's some move by Oakley.
Patrick Ewing with block number 6. Jordan follows and hits.
Michael much better from jump shooting range than he is around the basket, which is most unusual, in that he's usually effective around the basket equally.
Gets way up on his jump shot. There's got to be a better word for it than jump shot. It's more like a leap shot. Newman faked the 3, takes it down the lane, and is called for the offensive foul.
Offensive foul charged against Johnny Newman.
Boy, Stu Jackson hopping on that.
Second personal. For New York, number 7, Kenny.
Patrick Ewing sent that right back into the hands of Michael Jordan.
In the game.
He sends it right back into the hole.
Trent Tucker into the lineup. Johnny Newman will sit.
It's rare when you see Stu Jackson pull a player after an errant move. Offensive foul by Newman. Bang, he's on the bench.
Charles Oakley is on the bench. It looks like he might have injured a toe. And a foul as Jordan hits from the baseline. Earlier in the season, Oakley was bothered by what he called turf toe, kind of a stub toe, and he's having that looked at now.
Well, Michael Jordan is here.
1 shot.
And the foul. Kenny Walker in for Johnny Newman.
Well, Jordan still has 19 points in spite of the shots that he's missed.
Yes, in the third quarter. Amazing, right?
10 on the shot clock. Wilkins had a flashing thought about taking a 3. Here's Tucker guarded by Jordan.
You can't get around Michael.
2 on the 24. The fall away from Trent. Not a good shot. Defense by Chicago working there against the Knicks. Here's Jordan. And you sense he might want to turn things up here a bit.
Tucker denied that jump shot.
Stacey King, the running hook shot.
Oh, Ewing sent flying by Bill Cartwright.
Loose ball foul against Cartwright. His 4th personal foul.
Oh, look at the water pouring off Ewing. Oof.
It's got to be good for 4 or 5 pounds a game.
Oh, must be at least.
Rod Strickland gets a hand as he enters the game. Mark Jackson is out. So the Knicks lineup right now is
Chicago, number 32, Will Perdue is in.
Patrick Ewing, Trent Tucker, Gerald Wilkins, Kenny Walker, and Rod Strickland. A short yet quick New York Knicks lineup, with Charles Oakley lacing up again, having been attended to by Knicks assistant trainer Tim Walsh, with Mike Saunders still recuperating from his injuries at home. Ewing on Will Perdue, smacked up in the air. Knicks will retain. Cartwright out as a result of his fourth foul. Strickland on the bounce pass, and he lost it out of bounds, and so the Bulls will take over. A tough pass that Gerald has.
Well, it's tough to succeed throwing to a man going away from you in a situation like that. You prefer the man to be coming to you to get the ball.
Pippen, offensive foul with Tucker right
Offensive
up on his back.
Pippen of the Bulls. That's his second personal.
18,212 here at the Garden for the 13th sellout of this season by the Knicks. Kind of a slow pace to this third quarter. Knicks lead is 5. Tucker guarded tightly by Pippen. Strickland takes it all the way and shovels it up.
Bad shot by him.
Stacey King.
That's what happens with bad shots, too. It seems that fast breaks usually occur right against you. Offense is out of balance for some reason.
The Knicks shot selection in this third quarter has not been nearly as good as it was in the second.
Two shots.
Steve Jackson kind of cool right now as he watches Phil Jackson work on the officials.
Those of you monitoring the progress of rookie Stacey King, his 13 points against the Clippers on Saturday night, his career and season high. One of his favorite shots in college was the turnaround bank shot off the glass. He hasn't gotten an opportunity to shoot any of those so far today. Gerald Wilkins double team. Pippen comes up with the steal, or does he? Strickland is there to save the day for the Knicks. Tucker will go for 3 as the 24-second clock expires. Jordan's pass is deflected. Tucker comes up with it.
Kenny Walker did it.
Ewing backing in on Will Perdue, elbows him out of the way. You got to think Ewing wants to take advantage of Perdue, and he does.
Strickland wisely getting the ball inside to Ewing. Nice soft bounce pass. Even then he can play around with it and still recover it easily. And then the simpler the better for Ewing. Right up.
Ewing misses the completion of the three-point play, but Patrick has already earned 4 fouls on Cartwright and 3 on Perdue. Here's Perdue getting the rebound, sending it up. Now the nice touch by Stacey King.
King is showing a lot of mobility for his 6'10" size.
Oh, remember, he played on one of the fastest moving college basketball teams around, those Sooners. Ewing over Perdue. That shot is becoming more and more visible from Patrick. Short little jump hook on the run. Here's King, guarded by Walker. High over Ewing. Perdue a little clumsy on the rebound, but here's Pippen getting it back. Scottie Pippen has 15 points. Right up at his average of 16.9.
Bulls are hanging in very nicely here from their perspective.
Michael Jordan has taken 5 shots and made 3 in the second half as Rod Strickland makes it 88-82 with 27 seconds to go in the third. Bulls with a record of 23-12. 11 of those losses coming on the road.
Thousands of people here are hearing Stu Jackson yell out what's coming from the Bulls. What a voice.
driving on Strickland. What'll it be? Offensive foul on Michael Jordan.
Not too many people can stay with this guy. What Strickland did on that play.
Didn't you talk about that down the stretch in the San Antonio game, too, where Rod defensively was really showing how quick he was?
Yes, in fact, his coach said that's what got Stu into it, and the team, their defense. Rod into it.
Last second shot here by Strickland. Throws up a left-handed bank shot that just does miss.
How do you do that so cleanly? That's supposed to be the weekend.
88, Houston and Seattle.
Well, Rod Strickland back in action after his tremendous performance the other night against San Antonio. Tough jump shot. He didn't have much time on that move to see the rim, but he feels his way around pretty well these days.
And all 15 of Rod Strickland's points came in the fourth quarter. And that was in a stretch of after the first half in which he had 4 turnovers in 7 minutes of basketball. This program is authorized by Madison Square Garden Productions Incorporated solely for the entertainment of our audience, and any publication, rebroadcast, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this event, including the imposition of a charge for viewing the program without the express written consent of Madison Square Garden Productions Incorporated, is prohibited. Just underway in the fourth quarter. Al Trautwig in for Ace Award-winning Marv Albert, along with John Andres and Bruce Beck at the Garden. Strickland, short off the rim, follows it up, and on the shot is deflected out of bounds.
Well, at crunch time, the great show their stuff. Now let's see what Michael Jordan has in mind after a very disappointing for him first 3 quarters.
Jordan shooting 6 for 18, 19 points. Patrick Ewing getting a rest on the bench. Eddie Lee Wilkins hands off for Tucker, fakes once and hits.
Maybe got away with a shuffle on the feet, but he kept his move.
90-82, Knicks by 8. Walker, Eddie Lee Wilkins, Trent Tucker, and Rod Strickland along with Charles Oakley. Strickland guarding B.J. Armstrong, Oakley on King, Walker on Jordan. Here's King on the turnaround.
King, in his attempt to be ready for the NBA, gained a lot of weight in the summer. Phil Jackson, his coach, was telling me before the game it's taken him a while, but he has shed 20 pounds, and he looks it now. He's very mobile.
Eddie Lee Wilkins misses on the jump hook. Will Perdue out for B.J. Armstrong. Bulls look to pick up the pace, and Stacey King likes to play that way. Misses on the layup. Walker pulls it down. King putting a couple of good efforts in a row on the floor for the Bulls. 13 against L.A. His career high, as I mentioned, and now 11 against the Knicks here today.
It's a funny lineup Phil Jackson has now.
Eddie Lee Wilkins missing.
2 rookies. Will Perdue. Very interesting lineup. He's taking some chances.
The 2 rookies are B.J. Armstrong and Stacey King. Second-year man Will Perdue, Michael Jordan, and number 22 Charles Davis in the lineup for the first time. The Bulls are within 4 of the Knicks with 10:09 to go. Chuck Daly 67%, Chicago 66%. Patrick Ewing.
Oh, a lot of left-handed offense out of Ewing today. Pat Riley, Billy Cunningham, and Ed McCauley, the only coaches in there. First year to become all-star coaches. As Michael Jordan shows the touch is back. And the game is on the line. Trent Tucker knows it better than anyone. He's guarding Jordan.
The quick release of Michael Jordan. He now has 21. Patrick Ewing with Cartwright letting him take it. Patrick has been hitting those long-range jumpers. Just misses off the rim. The Knicks will keep it.
Good offensive pressure by the Knicks.
Shot, not 3 seconds, Casey. All got shot over here.
The Knicks with a lineup of Patrick Ewing, Charles Oakley, Kenny Walker, Trent Tucker, and Rod Strickland. Here's Tucker guarded by Jordan. Cartwright with Ewing. Patrick missing again. Out comes Jordan. Met by Strickland. Pressure by the Knicks, and it pays off. Patrick Ewing tipping to Rod Strickland.
Well, he and Strickland converged on Jordan successfully, and the fans are really cheering for Ewing on the floor, helping with that turnover.
Ewing jumps out to help Tucker on the Jordan defense. And Jordan and Patrick exchange words
and smiles.
The Bulls clear it out for Michael Jordan to do his thing. Here he comes. Lays it off for Stacey King. Just as effective as if Jordan had put it in.
Knicks lead 94-90.
Knicks by 4, 8.5 to go. Tucker for 3.
Well, that's the man the Bulls don't want to leave open.
Strickland almost stole it away. Charles Davis. Back to Jordan again, who has 7 assists in the game.
Knicks are fortunate today in having a big man who doesn't have the mobility against them, that is, that Ewing has. So the transition defense isn't anything like it was against David Robinson, who is supremely fast getting down court.
Armstrong guarded by Strickland. Cartwright, as the 24-second clock expires, it counts.
So this good was scored by Bill Cartwright.
Bill Cartwright, 18 points, 8 rebounds, 8 for 11 from the floor. Ewing.
Boy, he beats Jordan and Cartwright. What a move.
96-92.
And you know, the same way you can look forward to the Knicks taking on David Robinson again this week, you can look forward to these two teams hooking up again this week, next Sunday at Chicago. Jordan. Good rebound by Oakley. Knicks by 4, 7:20 to go.
Fans are feeling the pressure now. They're loving it.
Walker. Pulled down by Oakley. He's been a monster inside for the Knicks. Stolen by Jordan. He's on the run. Tongue flipping in the breeze, and a foul.
Michael held the ball a bit too long as he had 2 teammates ahead of him.
And on the inbound for Cartwright. King hands to Hodges. Just in for the Bulls. Bulls getting 21 points from Jordan.
Stacey King's getting a back massage from Oakley, and he didn't even ask for it.
Patrick Ewing with his 8th block to tie his career high. Incredible game for Ewing. Just missed on his 9th dunk. Cartwright with a bad touch above the rim.
Look at Ewing get lucky. Down court. He's all alone. Oh, he was pleading. Oh, look how angry Ewing is.
Pippen as the Bulls come back the other way.
Scottie Pippen.
He doesn't talk to Strickland now. Not that he wants to, but he forgot to play. Just let it go.
Anger of the moment. The Bulls have hung tough with the Knicks through their cold shooting, and they've chipped away slowly but surely.
Oh, Ewing is getting some push off the blocks from Cartwright.
Strickland in and out as the 24-second clock expires.
Cartwright's playing big.
Phil Jackson's had John Paxson on the bench for a long time, and B.J. Armstrong running this team. As Bill Cartwright and Kenny Walker hook up, and the ball just rolls out of bounds.
Very interesting substitution by Phil Jackson. He gave Michael Jordan a rest just now. I'm sure it's going to be real short, but enough for the big finale.
Cartwright playing with 4 personal fouls. Knicks by 2, 5.5. Heading down to the big finish. The Knicks continuing to play out a very difficult month of January, in which they were 5 and 3.
Ewing with room to be mobile. Spin 6-4. Jordan ready to come back in. Nice 1-minute break. Doesn't lose the sweat, but catches his breath.
Replacing B.J. Armstrong.
Stacey King is out. Horace Grant is in.
For Chicago, replacing Stacey King.
rebound in this game. 7 of 10 from the free throw line. Bulls with a chance to tie. Pippen all the way, just lost the ball as he rose to the basket.
Knicks foul charged to Patrick Ewing.
Patrick Ewing called on the foul, his 4th personal foul.
The rare moment of Cartwright, Jordan, and Pippen all smiling. Something on the court amused them. Jordan looks up at the scoreboard, sees his team is a point away, and he's real happy about that.
Ewing pulls down the rebound, and a loose ball foul will be called on Horace Grant.
That's his 3rd.
Scottie Pippen, one of the 30 or so deals that Jerry Krause, the GM of the Bulls, has engineered since he took over the job in '85.
Olden Polonies was the price from Seattle. Or to Seattle. He is now at Seattle.
They might like to undo that one. Oh, boy. Pippen with 18 points, 9 rebounds. Remember, Ewing's out there with 4 personal fouls.
Oh, Strickland sloppy with the ball.
Jordan bounced past Pippen. 8 assists for Michael Jordan.
Take the lead, 97-96.
Knicks have to call time on the defensive pressure by Chicago.
Now Stu Jackson has to think it up. Jordan with a nice bounce pass. Very easy for Pippen to handle. The Bulls now up by 1, and the Jordan factor is getting stronger as Michael's accumulating more points and assists.
7 for 21 from the floor, hitting 33% of his shots, Jordan. The Knicks haven't scored in the last 3 minutes and 10 seconds. The Bulls on a 9-2 run.
Look who's getting ready to come back in for the Knicks. Mark Jackson.
Ewing for Newman. Johnny heaves up a long 2-pointer. Well, they're going to take it from that far out. You might as well go for the 3.
What a courageous shot by Newman. Because the play really is to go to Ewing inside. And he showed his confidence and his ability.
Knicks lead again by 1, 4:13 to go. Jordan whirling on Wilkins. Inside for Grant. Bangs into Ewing. He goes down. Pippen for 3. And Ewing rips it down. Strickland stride for stride with Hodges. There's a speedy pair. Hodges' breaks didn't work that well.
Strickland waiting for Ewing to get set up.
Ewing cross-court Newman. All the way in. And what'll it be? It'll be a foul. Bulls thought it to be a jump ball, as you might expect.
Goes around the defense and draws the foul. Right now, Rod Strickland leaves the game in favor of Mark Jackson, unlike the other night against San Antonio.
Firm on that ball that it almost cost him. I mean, he came down so hard.
Knicks the same.
Johnny Newman gives the Knicks a 197 lead. Newman 14 on the game. Paxson from Pippen. Jordan hanging out. Top of the key. Jordan bounce pass from Grant. All the way. It counts and he's fouled.
Goal is good. It was scored by Michael Jordan.
A set play for Michael Jordan works to perfection.
That's his first and the team's 4th. Michael Jordan at the line.
Oakley tried to help out. Jordan just overcomes everybody.
We are tied at 100.
The only way the Knicks know how to play, Al.
This week, you're right. 2 games right down to the wire and 3 overtimes for the Knicks in this past week.
Oh, Gerald was 2 or 3 steps when he got that ball.
Ewing. Outside, Johnny Newman fakes the 3 into the hoop. Oh. That first step is a killer. And if you're defending Newman, you've got to respect his ability to hit from outside. So you go for the fake, and then he beats you down the lane. 2:50 to go. Knicks by 2. Grant, the fall away. tied again.
Oakley thought he had him wrapped up, and he did a good job. Grant responded beautifully.
Johnny Newman pulls up a little lame at center court. Slowly, the bottom half of your screen. It's wide open.
And only Mike Saunders knows it, is watching the game.
Oakley with a fake. Grant goes flying by, and the Knicks have a 2-point lead again with 2:20 to go.
I don't think the Knicks bench knows Newman is limping. And I don't think he wants him to know.
20-second timeout again.
It's a long assist by Patrick Ewing, who pitched the ball out to Newman, who put the Knicks up by 2 with a great move. Bruce Beck gives us an interesting piece of information. In games decided by 6 points or less, the Knicks are 11-4, 4-0 in overtime. Chicago 8-4, 2-0 in overtime. Bruce, you're right. Good clubs win close games.
On we go. Scottie Pippen is met by Newman, who remains in the game for the Knicks. Pippen drives the baseline, gets around Ewing, and puts it in.
Woo! Score is tied at 104.
22 points for Scottie Pippen, 6 above his average. And while Jordan may not have had the touch Pippen certainly has this afternoon. 1:50 to go, 104. Newman fakes on the drive. Pippen really playing him tight. 2 on the 24. Knicks give it away.
Ewing with the high dribble.
And
Pippen got it.
Timeout is called by Pippen. He was in trouble. 1 minute and 36 seconds tied at 104.
Scott Pippen, an emerging star in the NBA, with an incredible move up and under the basket. Ewing doing his best to discourage Newman from passing the ball into Ewing. Patrick getting the ball out a little high for him, and Pippen, he and Jordan among the top 10 in Steve.
Well, here we go. Paxson, Pippen, Grant, Cartwright, and Jordan.
Oh, and Gerald Wilkins has the job.
It is Wilkins on Jordan. 10 on the 24. Jordan spins and hits.
Nobody stops that.
The Bulls lead 106-104.
Bulls with the 106-104 lead. And now Gerald Wilkins on Jordan. Newman from the corner. Ewing gets the follow and the finger roll.
Name of the game is keep the ball alive on the offensive boards. Thank you, Charles Oakley.
12 rebounds, 33 points for Ewing. Jordan with 26. 55 to go. The game is tied. They'll clear it out for him again. And he loses it. Wilkins was right with him.
That is a rare sight.
A rare sight on a rare Jordan day. 40 to go, 18 on the 24.
A lot's going to happen in the next 35 seconds.
Newman in for Ewing. 28 to go. Phil Jackson says, let's play it, and now calls timeout. With 21 seconds to go, 15. The Bulls, 1 timeout remaining. They've stopped the clock here. Here's how the last minute developed.
Well, when you need it, you give it to the main man, and that's what the Bulls have done with Michael Jordan. So much for him not handling the ball. Same thing for the Knicks. When you need it, you go to your main man. In this case, Johnny Newman passes up the inside look, but look who comes up with it. And Jordan follows that with a major imperfection on his part. But when the Knicks got the ball to Ewing, he got the soft shot inside, couldn't convert it. Now it puts the Bulls in the control position with 21 seconds to go in a tie game.
Gerald Wilkins is on the spot defensively for the Knicks. Bulls led by 1 after 1. Knicks led by 8 at the half. Bulls close to within 6 after 3, and we've come down to this.
Gerald wants to deny the pass to Jordan, no matter what happens. That's his goal. Keep it out of Jordan's hands.
8 on the 24. But the pick got him free. 4 on the 24. Jordan for 3. And Oakley the rebound. Timeout Knicks with 4.6 to go. He elected to go for 3.
It was an interesting scene between this guy. Oakley grabs the rebound and was hugged from behind by Pippen. Pippen wasn't going to foul him. He's just letting him know he's there, and they're old teammates. Long shot by Jordan. Oakley with great position. Pippen from behind. Kind of a tap. Pippen was smiling. Oakley wasn't. Another look. No complaint from the Bulls. They got the man they want, the ball.
Well, you know, in this new era of the Chicago Bulls searching for a...
So there's not a big person he has to go over.
Jackson on Paxson. Spinning and foul. With 1/10 of a second left, Mark Jackson is fouled.
You know, notice not an argument from the Chicago Bulls bench.
His arm was clearly grabbed.
And the Bulls' first foul in the last 2 minutes.
Non-shooting foul, Al.
It looked as though Jackson was turning to fire it up.
Backwards to the basket, though. All right, no shot. He will not get a shot.
20-second timeout, New York.
Now they put it up. Jackson being looking for Ewing. Tucker launches it. It's good! It's good! Yes, it is possible to shoot with 1/10 of a second left. Even Bob Page can't believe it.
Oh, look at it again.
Clearly good.
Chicago, Bill Cartwright had 18 points and 12 rebounds. Scottie Pippen had 22 points.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable, unbelievable.
You clearly saw the ball in flight, and then the red light came on. The Knicks, incredibly, win by 3.